Hey there, how's it going? Are you struggling with Google Ads? Well, today's your lucky day. My name is Evan, and I am launching my first YouTube video for the 17th time. Alright, well, all kidding aside guys, let's hop in to this video and get straight to the point. I'm going to go over 10 settings that I've seen most commonly misused, not reversed, and just basically set yourself up for failure by not adjusting them and setting them to how I'm about to show you in this video. So let's jump into them and get started. By the way, just a slight disclaimer, do not go and jump in and make all these make all these changes all at once, because you will shock your account. If you are getting halfway decent performance, you're not going to know which change made the increase in performance. You're not going to know why your account's doing better or worse. So do these gradually, and maybe you start from the top of the list and definitely work your way down over maybe the course over a month or two. So that way you can see what's working and what's not. But at the end of the day, you're going to have definitely a way more efficient account and better ad dollar spent. So first step that you want to go and make sure, and beginners or intermediate or experts all alike, I'm sure one or two of these will definitely open your eyes up. But it's recommendations. So Google's going to constantly feed you recommendations of what works and what doesn't. And right here, this button is default is set to auto apply. So you want to make sure that you turn auto apply off. So how do you do that? You uncheck all of these. I already have them unchecked and I'm good to go. So I will go back and close this up. So if you have them automatically applying basically every 2 weeks or so, you're just going to auto apply whatever these changes are, whatever it's saying here, for the most part. And you definitely want to clear it out and dismiss them if you don't agree with them. You don't have to put anything here, but you want to dismiss so that way you don't have anything queued up here that could affect your account. Let's say if auto apply is on or off, or maybe somebody in your team talks to Google, they turn auto apply on, and there goes your whole strategy. So make sure auto apply is off. Next is in the ad extension area, which are actually transforming to assets, but here it hasn't made the change for me, which is fine. But we want to go into automated extensions. What's an automated extension? It's whatever Google wants. There's different categories and different qualifications of what an automated extension could be, but in this case we want to go all the way over to more. We want to go to advanced settings and turn all of these off. And here are all the categories of what you can have automated extensions for. So do you have to write anything? No. There you go. So yeah, you're just going to turn all these off, because at the end of the day, Google's pulling this information from your landing pages, your ads, your keywords, whatever it may be that it thinks makes sense, and you don't want anything being said that doesn't relate to your business. If you have your Google Maps listing connected here, or your e-commerce and your reviews pop up, you don't want to really show anything that's less than 3-4 stars, 4 to 5 stars. Sorry about that. The 3 stars here threw me off. But yeah, let's go ahead, keep turning these off. Our headlines would be nice, but you don't really know what's written, so we're definitely going to just turn these off. And that's it. Now you have more control over everything that's going on within your Google Ads account, and right there, more control. And that's it. So for number 3, this is a good one. In the settings, it's going to help you for analytics and tracking anything that's going on with your account, and whichever tracking platform you use, whether it's analytics, you're using a third-party call tracking software, whatever it is, it's basically going to attach a Google Click ID to your URL that is going to help any software that knows or integrates with Google Ads to better track. So right here, auto tagging, make sure it's set on, and save that. After that, we're going to make sure Google Search Console is linked. I'm not going to show you how to do it in the video. I will have a separate video of that, or you can watch one of the thousands of videos that teach you how to do it. But we're going to go here to linked accounts and go to Search Console. You basically want to be using the same email that it allows you to connect them. Right here with no logo, Search Console, details, and oops, should not have showed that. But yeah, so you're going to connect your domain, and if you already have like the same everything in one Gmail, let's say for example, and you type it in and you fill it in, it's automatically going to connect, so you don't have to do anything else. If not, you have to like put a txt file on your domain or maybe a snippet of code on your Google Tag Manager or your website. So that is definitely going to help for a couple reasons. One, if you have call only ads and you don't have landing pages, you're going to have the phone number verified automatically so that you don't have to use your main business line and then not be able to track calls that are coming in correctly and all that stuff. And you can more easily import these calls and put them into a CRM or use a third-party call tracking software like CallRail, Call Tracking Metrics. There's a bunch out there, and I'm not going to go through them right now, but we'll have more videos upon your guys' request. So after this, we are looking into keyword match types. So right here, this is one that's not really a setting, but it is one that you want to make sure that you do go ahead and make sure that you have the one that makes the most sense for your business. And usually it's going to be a mix of phrase match or exact match, depending how large your market area, how competitive your market is, and all that. So how do you go about this? Right here, I have all my keywords and they're all broad match. So let's say I want to change them to phrase match. I'm going to go ahead and select them all. We're going to change match type, change all match types, and boom, put it to phrase. If you do have data in the broad match, make sure to check this off and apply. So that way you're duplicating the keywords and adding new ones, a different match type, and then you just have to go back and pause these broad match ones. So I'll show you right now what I mean. So now we can sort it by match type, and all the broad ones we'll go ahead and pause. So by doing this now, we're going to have more concise search terms popping up. It still could be, inverted. It could be FB, Facebook, or Facebook FB. These are really bad examples because it was a joke I kind of wanted to have set up. But if you know about match types, great. You'll understand what I'm saying, not to miss this step. If you don't know about match types, check out another video. For sure, you would definitely want to dive in and understand this clearly. And I'll definitely have documentation from Google Ads themselves for each one of these steps that has documentation. So after this, we're going to go to our settings for our campaign, and we want to make sure that we're using the right networks that make sense for what we're advertising. So search partners, think of it as other search engines like they use Google search as their search engine. I know it doesn't really make sense, but it's out there. Or even websites that have like search engine powered by Google. You can show up an ad there sometimes. So what it could lead to is low quality clicks, low quality conversions. It's something that you also want to just implement after the fact. After you've had your campaign running for a year, you've had good results. Hey, let me make an experiment and run search partners on and see what happens. It's not something you generally want to start off with because you don't have that clear data of what's working and what's not. You can always look at the breakdowns and segment it, but as far as starting off a fresh brand new campaign, I 100% of the time have this off, as well as display network. Why? Because I usually have dedicated display network campaigns that are more optimized to do that job. And then you go ahead and save. Let's see what's next one. Mobile bid adjustments. Alrighty, right here, I know you're screaming, there's a bunch of settings that need to be changed, but I will come back to this. So mobile bid adjustments, what does that mean? You can bid adjust exactly based off your device. So all these devices, computers, mobile phones, and tablets, you can control what's working and what's not. And if you have a good solid 3, 4, 5, 6 months of data, you want to definitely bid adjust to what's working and what's not. A lot of times tablets doesn't really spend much money, but hey, if it's spent 3% of your budget, 5% of your budget, and if it's never worked, okay, let's decrease it to 100% so we never have to waste any more money there ever again. And if you see mobile phones is kicking the butt of computers, okay, let's dial the computers back down a little bit, decrease it by, let's say, 25%. Yeah, it's pretty aggressive, but if mobile is working, why not just focus on mobile? You can increase it here, which will increase your overall bid on mobile, but you got to be careful because the next one is right here in advanced bid adjustment, where you can bid adjust more for calls, and this is only on mobile campaigns. So you don't want to put 10% here, 10% of devices, and then also in your ad schedule or whatever have another bid adjustment, and the next thing you know, you're bidding 45% more or 300% more, and your cost per clicks are all over the place and you have no control. So definitely pay attention to where you put your bid adjustments and how much they can multiply by. Alrighty, second to last one is going to be this right here where we're looking at ad schedule. A lot of times people run their ads 24/7 because, hey, they want business. They'll answer the phone whenever it makes sense, and they'll basically just, be glued to their phone and accept whatever calls come in. So that's great and all, but there's going to be times and places that you can save money by paying attention to what ads and what days and what hours are working best. So I like to start off with my clients' business hours, or a couple more hours, added to that and subtracted, added to it really in the mornings and in the afternoon. So that way they're really running through times that they'll reasonably answer the phone. Unless it's 24/7 emergency services, yes, it's a whole different service, a whole different campaign probably. But the ad schedule is a good way where you can fine tune your bid adjustments and fine tune what days are converting best. I've seen a lot of home service campaigns do the best on Mondays and Fridays. That's just the way it works out. People want to see if they can schedule something next week by Friday. They don't want to deal with it on the weekend. Though Saturday and Sunday, I usually have them off, or very strongly bid adjusted negatively. Why? Because I look at the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule tells me that I want to focus on the days that are best performing and best going to give me the bang for the most buck. Yeah, most bang for the buck. So what do? I do Monday through Friday most of the time, and just focus on that and harp on the days that work best and bid adjust those more aggressively. And what does that allow me to do? Spend less on other days and spend more on days that traditionally have converted better. And make sure when you're looking at this and implementing these, you have at least 3 to 6 months of data and your conversion tracking set up and everything working properly, so that you can make educated decisions. And last but not least, and I'm going to go over the settings again, haven't forgotten. Last but not least is locations. Locations is another place where you can make bid adjustments. So be careful. Now you got locations, ad schedules, advanced, excuse me, and different locations that you want to target. Some people will just come in here and just say, hey, radius, what's my city? Let's put 3333. All right, we're going to target this New York right here. Boom, 20 miles. Yeah, I'll go everywhere there. Not a problem. What they don't realize is that you're just not doing any interest of yourself. You're not helping anybody but Google. You're literally just targeting a radius that doesn't mean anything, that has endless implementations or whatever the word is. I'm going to pop in here. So basically what you really want to do, you can have the radius, that's not a problem. That's kind of like a catch-all. But you'll go in here by postal code. And this is a really bad example because New York has a bunch of postal codes. So let me remove it. I'm going to go to the middle of nowhere. Sorry if you're from here, but this is going to be a better example. So I'm going to go ahead, pin my radius in Sunshine, Wyoming, 20 miles. Get out of here, that's nothing. Okay, so there we go. We're going to target these 100 miles. And then what am I going to do is go back to location, turn on show all areas, and then show by postal code. So boom, right here. Now we can start targeting the individual zip codes that are within this radius. And what that's going to allow us to do is bid adjust within these radiuses and these zip codes, and let us see exactly what's working and what's not. Now I know you can look at reporting after the fact and signal it out and then add the location and then bid adjust for it, but it's just a lot easier to manage the campaign if you have all these areas targeted already within the radius that you're going to target regardless, so that you can capture the data as it comes in. Did I understand, everybody? So right there, let's say that's about just all what I want to do, and you think you're done, right? You got everything targeted. Woof, great, let's do this, guys. But guess what? There's about 300 and something negative locations you got to go in and add now. What the hell, Evan? Negative locations? Are you kidding me? 300? Yeah, I'm dead serious. Now I'm going to try to add a file in here that is going to let me provide this to you, so that you can kind of like plug and play if you know how to use Google Ads Editor. If you don't, you're kind of SOL, not gonna lie. But I'll try to help you the best I can. So that's county, sorry. I meant to click country. Okay, whatever. Point is, it's a little buggy right now because I'm in another country. It's confused with what's going on. So county, yeah. So it doesn't even let me do country, but you can always type it in. And like Mexico, we don't service Mexico, so I can exclude the whole, gosh darn it. Mexico, country, exclude. Let me do Canada. Like at least these two, so that you don't have to worry about anything coming from there. And that way you can come over here, back to your settings, and have it set to all languages. Why set to all language, Evan? Well, first off, your keywords are going to be English. So people literally have to look up in English for for your ad to show up. That's what I meant. There you go. For your ad to show up. Now, by having all languages, some people are going to have their computer settings to Spanish or browser settings to Spanish, and they're going to be looking up something in English because maybe it's auntie's computer or whatever, and if they look up something in English, then you want to be able to show up that ad for them because it makes sense. And if they're triggering one of your keywords and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. But what that's going to happen and what that's going to cause is your cost per click to be less because people aren't targeting all languages. People are targeting English because, yeah, that makes sense. Common knowledge. English is my ad. English is my company. English is what I speak. But your ads are going to be in English and your keywords in English, so you can target all languages right here and not have any issues. If it does become an issue, great, not a problem. Put it back to English. But starting off, you definitely want to have it at all languages, so that way you know what you're working with, and then if you make this change to English, and you see your cost per click go up, boom, you know exactly what it's due for. But in the flip side, hopefully when you change it to English, you'll see your conversion rate increase and whatnot to avoid those issues that you were having, because maybe it's in an area bordering Mexico, let's say in Texas, that you have multilingual nationals that are going to be searching different things on multiple different computers and blah, blah, blah. Hope you get what I'm saying there. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents with languages. And as far as for bidding strategy, when you are creating your account, you want to have it at manual cost per click. I leave it like that till I get 10 impressions, 100 impressions, whatever it is. There's really no number to it, but or even more. I leave it like that for months, and I'm just on top of the campaign. I know and understand the market. But if you don't understand the cost per click and what it is for your industry, for your market, for whatever you're targeting, leave it at maximize clicks. Maximize clicks. After you've gotten impressions, you gotta make sure you have a manual impression, because for some reason, if you leave it on max clicks, you won't get impressions for like a week or two sometimes, and then you just go crazy calling Google and trying to figure it out. At least that's what happened to me. You can comment otherwise if that's happened to you, yes or no. Maybe you can help me out there. But once I'm at maximize clicks, then I'm getting the maximum amount of clicks within my 10-cent budget that I have here, talking crap about Zuck, and hopefully we get at least 3 clicks a day. But in all seriousness, that's going to allow you to get as many clicks per day that your budget is allowing and the cost per click is allowing in your market. And just a little drizzle of knowledge right here. You're doing what everybody else is not doing and what Google is not recommending for you to get conversions. So what that allows you to do is show up more often for people that aren't being bid $100 cost per click, for example, for law firms or whatever it may be. That industry is super competitive. So by doing maximize clicks, maybe your cost per click is dropping down to $10, $20, and there you go. Now you're getting 5 clicks. Then instead of you would have gotten 1 AMAC conversions or even manual CPC, because sometimes it tells you got to bid $100 to be on the first page. So now you're getting 5 clicks instead of 1, and then that's going to allow you to basically even the playing field, and most likely you're going to win most of the time, because it's just a numbers game, and it's not necessarily going to show you the people that it knows is not going to convert. It just doesn't have the data. It is a Google algorithm, AI engine, whatever. It doesn't have the data on everybody, and if I've never searched for a lawyer in my life and I just got in a car accident, there's going to be no history of me ever searching for lawyers or whatever. So what am I going to do? Just go on Google and look for a lawyer. Boom. Google had no idea that my intention was to look for, maybe they do, maybe I'm all wrong, but for the most part, they don't know that you just got in an accident and you're looking for a lawyer, boom, right there in the spot. Of course, if you start texting your friends Googling research and watching YouTube videos, yeah, it's going to know you got in a car accident all day long. But for that person that had no intention beforehand, now your ad's going to show up more likely. And this is 100 times a day. That's probably happening if you're like in Los Angeles or something where nobody knows how to drive. And just kidding. But you get what I'm saying here. It's a numbers game, and you want to be on top as most often as possible. Now, there's a couple other bidding strategies, but I'm not going to go into it. I just like maximize clicks right now because that's what's working best for me in a lot of tough markets that I haven't been able to win with in manual or maximize conversions. So let's wrap this up, why don't you say? And that's pretty much it. There's a bunch of other stuff that we can go into and take another 20 minutes of your time, but I'm not gonna do that. Here, I'll give you one bonus, or maybe like the 7th bonus one, but I will go in and always add in observation mode all these audiences that it's recommending. Like if I was a landscaper, obviously that would make sense, and then you can also dive in and browse and check off whichever ones make sense, and frequently visit saloon, whatever. The point is, whatever you select, I go ahead and select all of these because I want to know who's clicking on what with whatever data is provided. So all of these, literally, you want to click on whole numbers run, so you can get a better idea and confirmation of what your ideal customer persona is by doing this. Company size, all this. So you're going to find that this data is going to help you out. You're going to see that you can go ahead and create bid adjustments towards these or target them specifically. Like, hey, all my leads are coming from DIY people because they love the kits I sell. Okay, great, perfect. Target only DIY people. You're going to limit the crap out of yourself. Obviously, your cost per click is going to go up, but hopefully your conversion rate and all that stuff levels out. So I like to always observe stuff. You'll see here that they're all being observed, and you can bid adjust accordingly. So, but keep in mind always with bid adjustments, they like multiply and they add up. So your 10% across all different ones could become 60, 70%, and you're gonna have some fun there. But hope you guys learned something new. I definitely rushed through this, but what can I say? It's my first video, and definitely I know there's value in here. This is stuff that nobody really talks about on a daily basis. And yeah, till next time, I will keep dropping knowledge. I promise you that. You have my word. Cheers.